I want to open up the top bar hive. I haven't been in here in about a month. I'm going to take a look inside and see how much they're building up. This is a colony that's been here for a year. So they're veterans, they kind of know what they're doing, they survived the winter, and that's always a good sign. They should be nice and strong. What I expect to see is them building up about 2/3 of the way across. And if they are, I'm going to open up the other entrance. So all my hives for both the Layens and top bar hives have 2 entrances, but most of the year I only use the one, and it's only during the time of the strong flow that I'll open up the second one if the colony is big enough for it. So we're going to take a look inside and see if they're getting big enough to open up that second entrance, and then we'll do that too. So today, that's why we're here. So let's get into it. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Enjoy Beekeeping. It's April, and this is the prime time to keep bees. And right now they're building up really nice. I've already took a look inside a couple of my hives. They look fantastic. I'm finding full frames of honey, but it's not capped yet. But the fact that we've got full frames of honey in a lot of the hives out in the apiary, that's awesome. And it's still the early part of the season. So I've got my smoker, and the bees are in a really good mood today. It was really gloomy and rainy this morning, but it turned into a gorgeous day, and so the bees are in a really good mood. And so this is a perfect time to open them up because a lot of the forage bees have already gone out and they're foraging, so the chances of getting stung are a lot less. You've got about a 20% less chance of being stung when all the forage bees are out doing their thing. So let's have a look and see how well they're building up. So here we go. Let's have a look inside. Now I've already taken the follower board out. So this is just kind of hanging around here until winter time. And so we're just going to set this aside and get this ready to go. And let's have a look. And we always start from the quiet side of the hive. And I've got a few Swiffer wipes here, keeping everything under control as far as hive beetles go. I always keep Swiffer wipes in the little cracks. So let's start with the quiet side of the hive and have a look and see how we're doing. And maybe we'll see some bees. Yep, look at that. We've got bees right on the outside top bar. And there's a few hive beetles there too. These beetles get in, and they don't need much of a way to get in. They just come in any tiny little crack. So they'll usually be on the outside away from where the brood nest is. So if you see them, you can just take your hive tool and squish them. That's what I'm doing right now. I just squish them when I see them. You know, I'll just knock that one down there. So hive beetles are a problem here in the south. You hear me talking about it all the time, but I've got most of them. And now you just see some bees patrolling and keeping them away from all the babies. They don't want them near the brood nest, so they keep them down here. So it's not uncommon to see a few hive beetles down on this end. But let's keep moving. I'm going to set this top bar right here. And let's move a few more over. Okay. Again, I'm looking to see there's no hive beetles on these two, so we're going to set these right here. And let's see about this one. Okay, so we've got 3, 4, 5. This makes 5 top bars. 6. But the next one, they're already starting to chain up on this one. There's a couple bees getting ready to draw some comb, but the next one I'm going to show you has comb on it. We're going to set this here. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah, this one has some comb. They're just starting. I'm going to show you this. All right, look at that. So they're starting up right here. And I see honey in there. I'm not sure how well the camera's picking that up, but there's some honey in there. And that's what I expect to see down here is honey. So this is fantastic. I'm really excited. I'm going to bring the camera around so you can see down in here. So I'm going to bring this camera around. So I'm going to show you what they're doing right inside here. So look at that. Look at the progress that they're making. So you can see down there that's the other entrance. So I think it would be fine to open this up right now and to let them have full access to build on this side and to bring in all kinds of nectar to build up honey over here. So let's go ahead and do that. I just want to show you how they're doing. I'm going to bring the camera down inside a little bit. And you can see the bees walking around on the screen bottom floor. I've got diatomaceous earth down there, so any beetles that do fall will die in that diatomaceous earth. They just dry right out. So that really helps a lot. And then there's the bees just doing their thing. And they're packing honey on these frames right here. All right. So they're making excellent progress, and I'm not surprised because it's just prime time for bees right now. It's early April, like I was mentioning before, and they're just doing phenomenal. So I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames out of 21. So that means they're 2/3 of the way through, and I'm going to open this side up for them. I'm going to put that one right back. And I'm just setting them all back in. Now I'm using my Swiffer wipes. You always see me do this. If you're in the Southeast, Swiffer wipes work great on that little crack that's left right on the end here. So I'm just going to tuck that in on the end. That helps keep beetles out too. So I just tuck that in. That really does help. You got to make sure you use unscented Swiffer wipes. Don't use anything with perfume or chemicals. All right, so they look great. We're going to put the follower board back on. And again, they're 2/3 of the way through this hive. So I'm very happy to see that. And that's a really good indicator of how well they're doing. We've got at least 2 solid months in front of us. So they've got all of April, all of May, and just a little bit of June before the dearth sets in. So I'm hoping that they just pack these frames with honey. So hopefully that's what'll happen. As long as the weather is good, we should have a good honey season this year. So I'm going to close this back up. And again, we're going to go to the front side of the hive next. And we're going to make sure that the bees can access that second entrance. And I'm only going to leave it open for the next 2 months, and then I'm going to close it right before the dearth sets in. So it's real important that you do that. So this is the only time of year I ever open up both entrances. So right before I open the entrance, I have a Swiffer wipe tucked in here, and the bees can't chew through those Swiffer wipes. So that's another really good use for the Swiffer wipe, is it prevents the bees from chewing through it. If you put a paper towel in there, they can actually chew it up, and then next thing you know, the entrance is open when you don't want it to be open. So Swiffer wipes are really good at preventing that entrance from being open, and you can just pull it out and toss it. It's no big deal. And the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to install one of these. You probably see these a lot in my videos. This is an anti-beetle entrance, and the good folks at Guardian has donated a ton of these to me. So I just want to give a special thanks to Mike from Guardian for donating these, because these work great. You always see a few hive beetles because they somehow manage to find a way in through one of these cracks. I'm always patrolling this, and if I do see a crack, sometimes I'll put a little bit of caulk in it if the bees don't propolize it. So I always keep an eye open for that, but this has been a tremendous help. So if you've got a problem with hive beetles, you want to get the Guardian Anti-Beetle Entrance. That's what it's called. It's the Guardian Anti-Hive Beetle Entrance. So the bees can get in. And the other really cool thing about these is it also stops the really big murder hornets from getting in, because the entrance is so tiny that those big hornets can't get in. So it's a double whammy, and I always put these on all of my hives. Now, as soon as I pull that Swiffer wipe out of there, probably a couple of bees are going to come out. So I'm going to get my smoker. Okay, so hopefully they won't be too upset about this, but I'll have it ready. I don't want to startle anybody, but just in case we do, we'll have this ready to go. Now, if you use the Layens hive system, I just want to tell you something about this. These are actually designed to be on a flat surface, and you can use these with a sloped surface like this one. This one angles down because it's a top bar hive, and you can even use it on a flat surface. And all I do is I just build a little ledge right here that I just screw onto the front of the hive, and that creates a flat surface so that these work just fine. They work just the way they're intended. So these go right here like this. They sit right on this little ledge. And beetles have a real hard time making a 90-degree turn, so that's why these are so effective. The 90 degrees is here, and they get confused, and then they fall back down. And so over and over again, the beetle will try to get inside the hive, and he won't have very good success getting in because he can't make that 90-degree turn. And if he's able to somehow make the turn, he'll wind up here and fall through these little holes. So it just frustrates the beetle, and I don't feel bad for him one bit. So you're going to need a tiny screwdriver to put these in. So these are really easy to put on with a couple screws that they provide. I like to use this small screwdriver. It's almost like an eyeglasses screwdriver. And I just put them in just like this. Now it would be better if I put these on before I had bees in the beehive, no doubt about that. But the bees are going to know about this entrance in just a couple minutes. I'm actually surprised they're not coming out now. And so you just screw those in. I'll show you there. And there we go. So now we're good. And that's all you have to do. So even if you're using a Layens hive or a top bar hive like this, as long as you have a flat ledge, that's all you need for these to work effectively. So I'll show you this one here. This is where the bees are going in and out. So there they go. And you can even see the bees are walking underneath that little section. And they're patrolling for hive beetles. But the beetles get frustrated. They have a real hard time making a 90-degree turn. Plus the color red is hard for them to see as well. It really confuses them. And so the bees are just coming and going right here. And now they've got both entrances open. This is going to be the honey side right here. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching. It was a pretty straightforward hive inspection today, and it's just a great time of year to be checking out the bees. There's no better time of year to do it. Oh, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, so every time I put a video up, you'll get a reminder that we got a new video. We're always filming more. In fact, I got so much content waiting for me to edit and put online. I usually do it on rainy days. So today's sunny, so I'm outside with the bees. When it's rainy, that's when I do all my video editing. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. The bees are already checking out their new entrance, and we'll see you guys at the next one. So keep on enjoying beekeeping.